manage things for me. It can either auto-manage everything or just the taxes. I like to do both myself just because I feel like I do a better job than the AI. You can also tell them to either save or spend, which means they'll literally just do what they say. You'll either spend it, they'll either spend the money or they'll save the money. This is the financial screen. This shows you basically all the income you're getting from everything in your settlements. The farming right here, you can build up farms and such in your cities, which gives you income. Mining, same thing. Trade can be between cities. It can be overseas. You can see this little blue line right here, which is a trade between the Julii and the Scipii. That happens kind of just all over the place. Taxes, obvious. It's just how many taxes you get from the citizens in your cities. Wages, that means that's how much your upkeep is for your armies. I think, yeah. No. Yes. Wages is for, I think, the generals. The army upkeep is for, like, these guys. I'll get to that in a minute, too. So, recruitment, I haven't recruited anybody yet, so I haven't spent any money on that. This is usually the last turn. So, yeah, it'll just say how much money I've spent on recruitment, construction. The Senate transactions, meaning how much money they've given me. Entertainment, which means how much money I've spent on that. Diplomacy and tributes, like meaning I give money or they give me money. Corruption and other. I'm not actually terribly sure what that means. They project that my income will be about 3,300, expenditures 3,100, projected profits 135. That's because, as you can see, Masana only has 141 income, whereas Capua has -4. My starting treasury right now is 5,000 denarii. Denarii is the currency in this game. My projected treasury total is 5135, meaning, yeah, you get it, unless I go spend stuff. This is the faction ranking scroll. Right now, nothing is really happening, but that's because no one's like taken a turn yet, so it doesn't really show what's going on yet. This is the Senate office list. I usually don't worry about this too much, but this is basically just who takes care of the stuff. This really doesn't matter. It doesn't really change anything, at least not to my knowledge. This is the diplomacy screen. Here we are, the House of Scipii. These are our allies, the Julii, Bruttii, and SPQR, which is the Senate. As you can see, the Senate only controls one city, and that is Rome. Our enemies right now are the rebels. And rebels are everywhere. They'll always be there. You can't get rid of them. The House of Julii, the House of Bruttii, the House of, SPQR, and then you can see there are all these other factions that we have to deal with in this world, including Thrace. And fun fact, Spartacus was actually from Thrace. Anyway, so this is the Senate screen. This just shows how the Senate thinks about each place, so you can kind of check out who they like and whatnot. See, they don't really want to go to war with Egypt right now. The Macedonians, the army's in a diplomatic mission. They wanted to start figuring out what's going on with them because they're kind of good. Seleucids, doesn't really matter right now. Carthaginians, basically, this people can be absorbed in the empire, occupying their cities and imposing good Roman culture. They do not like the Carthaginians. Never have. Parthians, I'm not going to go through all this. Senate missions, that'll just show me the mission that I have, which right now is take Syracuse. And the Senate floor shows the Senate and the people. Basically, the more the Senate likes you, the more stuff they'll give, that kind of stuff. The more the people like you, I don't even know. It doesn't really matter. But, so this is, this basically tells you how much they like you and such. Like right now, the plebeians hate me, like with a passion. More than that, they hate all my friends and their pet slaves and hangers-on. That's how unpopular I am. So that's sad. But, that's okay. So besides that, oh yeah, this shows all my armies and generals. So you can see here's my family members. I can actually select them as well, and it shows how many soldiers they have in their army right now. These are the settlements I have with the public order. If that gets too low, bad stuff happens. I'll get to that later. Income, with the governors, which are basically just the family members, give them little extra bonuses. And these are agents, diplomat and a spy. You can train more of these as time goes on, but as you can see with the spy right here, this shady looking guy, you can make him go into cities like this, and then you see everything inside the city. So now if I attack, the spy has a 32% chance that they'll open the gate, which is nice, but I don't want to rely on that. As you can see, they have some archers, a bunch of hoplites, and a general. Generals aren't necessary for an army, but they're a heavy cavalry unit, as you can see here, and they're really good. Right now, this general's cavalry isn't that great. It only has 12 attack and 15 defense. But the hit points is 2, which is pretty okay at the beginning. But it just tells you all sorts of fun stuff about the actual unit. Besides that, they are heavy cavalry, and they're really the best units you can get at the beginning. Hastati are basically the backbone of the army, at least at the very beginning. They're used to wear down an army and hold him before the next Roman battle line attacks and carries on the fight. So they're good troops, but they're not really made for dealing heavy damage. They do 9 attack and have 16 defense. That seems pretty good, but later on, it's not so good. They also do 13 missile attack. You see these 2 little spears right here, and they actually take them and throw them at the enemy when they're in range. As you can see, they also have a very high upkeep and a pretty high recruitment cost. It's not bad, but... So yeah, they use a missile weapon before they're charging. I'm not going to read through all that. You can disband the unit, which basically means they go away, they return to a city, and you no longer have to pay for them. You see over here, the upkeep for the general is only 87, which is kind of impressive. We have the Roman archers over here. They are really cheap, but they have a high upkeep. They only do 9 missile damage, but obviously they can shoot a lot farther. Velites are basically like archers, but they throw little spears. They do less missile damage, and they have a lot less range. But as you can see, Velites cost more, but they have the same upkeep. So really, you want to get archers as fast as you can. That takes a bit because you have to get a practice range and then an archery range, and I'll show you that in a minute as well. So right now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start building in my settlements. This is the settlement screen. This shows you right now who's the governor, his age, the amount of income you're getting, public order, population growth, and the required level for the next settlement. Basically what that means is that you upgrade your building and everything is good, happy, fun time. Right now we get 4%, so 4% of 4,800 is put back into the population, and it just grows over time. And that gets exponentially bigger. When you have like 20,000, you're getting 4% of 20,000, not 4% of 4,800 anymore. So right now my income is negative, so we're going to want to fix that. Public order right now is pretty good, so we're going to up the taxes. So you see what just happened there? They're happy right now at 105%. But when I up the tax one more time, they go to 80%. And you can see on the little city screen right here, it's a little green face. That means it's happy. Blue face, that means they're kind of sad. Red face means they're rioting. Yellow face, they're kind of, whatever. They don't really care. So these are all the buildings you can make. I'll get more into that later. These are the units you can create. You can also create agents here, which also have upkeep. This retinue thing basically just means they're special skills, that kind of thing. So this guy is a drill master, which means he has more movement points, he gets 10% discount. And these are all the fun little things, his little traits. This shows his command and his influence. Right now his command is pretty low, his influence is low, he has no management skill. An underachieving oyster would show more signs of being able to manage the day-to-day affairs of an empire. So he's obviously not a great governor, but there's not a lot we can do about that. So with these buildings, this is a wall, obviously. The wall in Capua is not that big. It's a palisade right now. A wooden wall is a little bit better, but you cannot put troops on top of it. It has extra wall defenses, which are these little towers right here. And in the actual battle screen, the towers do damage. If units get too close to the towers will start firing, and they're actually pretty effective. So they're a better defense than a palisade of stakes, but it's still not much of a problem. They can basically be burst through with a battering ram. So we're not going to worry about that right now. Capital is in a pretty safe place, so we don't need to worry about that. The trader is going to increase tradable goods, which basically means we're going to get more income. Population growth bonus means our population growth is going to go up higher faster. As it says, trade can, of course, be taxed. It can also be improved when this building is upgraded. Over time, you can upgrade this building so it'll do better in the sense that it'll increase more tradable goods. This is a port. It allows you to create ships of different types. Right now, this is the lowest kind. So all you can make is Birames, which I think are 40 units in a ship. There is no such thing as a naval battle in this game. There is in the later Total War games. I think in Shogun 2 there's one, but not in Rome Total War. It's a little too old for that. It also gets trade fleets, which means that ports get income. Roads. This also increases trade, but it also means that you can see these little dirt roads right now. When you increase it, basically you see this guy, he can walk pretty far right now. That's mostly because he doesn't have a lot of units. But as you increase the roads, as the roads get better, the farther units can travel. These are the buildings that make your units. This one is the stables, which creates war dogs. Equities are light cavalry. They're really not good for anything. Really, the best that they're used for is chasing down enemies or taking out skirmishers and archers. Besides that, they're really pathetic. War dogs, basically the same thing. They're good for chasing away enemies or dealing a nice blow. But that's about it. War dogs are also kind of scary. Next is a practice range, which can make a velites. As I showed you before, those are little guys that throw the cute little spears. Not that interesting, but you have to have a practice range to get an archery range. I mean, an archery range to get a catapult range to get a siege engineer, I believe. The archery range, obviously, will make archers, so that's going to be something we're going to want to invest in. Next, doesn't look like, actually it looks like it's it. Right now, though, we have shrines right here, which will give us a bonus in something. So here, it gives us 5% more happiness, but it also upgrades our light weapons, meaning all the units created here will actually do more damage. So that's good. But this place gives us 5% happiness and 5% law. I'm actually going to do this one, mostly because the happier settlement is, the higher you can tax them. It only goes up to very high, but your cities can get pretty upset pretty quick. So over here we have Masana as well. Right now they can basically do the same things, except that they can make a barracks, which comes with Town Watch and Hastati. That's pretty important, so I'm probably going to get that first. As you can see, we don't have a huge army right here. We can get some mercenaries, but that's not going to help very much, especially against this large army. And that's a pretty dangerous army too. Hoplites can be very, very bad if you don't know how to deal with them. So first thing we're going to do here is make barracks and train some Hastati. As you can see, it takes 3 turns, which is a year and a half. So you can really see how those years are starting to come into play. You don't actually have that much time. I'm going to make that shrine. As you can see, our money is down here on the right, as well as what time it is. Like right now it's 270 BCE. And we have, what was it? 284 turns. So 14 AD or something like that. Let me check that. 284, yeah. So, yeah, I think that's 14 AD. I don't remember what that is in historical terms. It's been a while. Yeah. So, let's see what we're going to do here. We're going to let that build up. We have enough money that I'm going to queue up a few more things. I really want to focus on economy at the beginning. So, the trader will get us more money. The port will get us more money. And this will increase trade. But I'm going to go ahead and put some stuff in here as well. I'll get the trader and the port. So for right now, we're going to take out the army in here, except for that general, the family member, because I want somebody in there. If you don't have anybody in a city, anybody can walk right in, and they'll be completely defenseless. They can just take the city. So that's bad. And we'll go ahead and attack Syracuse right now. I should be able to handle them just because I'm awesome. This is the settlement besieged screen. It shows